Welcome to A Year in the Bible with Daily Grace. From Eden to eternity, the Bible tells one big story of redemption. My name is Tiffany, and I want to spend a few minutes with you every day walking through the Bible chronologically. Together, we will explore God's sovereign plan as the events of Scripture unfold and point to Jesus. Hey, Daily Grace family. My name is Tiffany Dickerson, and I am honored and overjoyed to be your podcast host for year 2 of the Year in the Bible podcast. This year, our reading plan will walk through Scripture chronologically using the Eden to Eternity, the chronological story of Scripture reading plan. That means that for 365 days, we are going to walk through the events of Scripture as they occurred. That might be a new concept for a lot of us, so let me take a moment to explain the difference between a traditional reading plan and a chronological one. Traditional reading plans walk through the Bible from cover to cover, Genesis to Revelation. The books of the Bible aren't in chronological order, though. They are grouped by genre within each testament. This means they're grouped by books of the law, historical narrative, poetry, wisdom literature, letters, and so on. This year, the genre of each book will remain an important part of our study, but we are going to journey across the pages of Scripture as the events unfolded. So let me give you a few examples. As we read the events of books like Kings and Chronicles, we will also read the corresponding chapters of the prophets who prophesied during that time period, prophets like Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Hosea. And when King David wrote a psalm about an event in his life, we will read that psalm with the corresponding passage in 1st or 2nd Samuel. When one of Jesus' parables is mentioned in 3 of the Gospels, we will read all 3 accounts and see how each point of view gives us a full and beautiful picture of Christ. And we will read Paul's letters in the order he wrote them and see how they fit into the timeline of the book of Acts. This is just a small sampling of the exciting journey we will take this year as we read the Bible chronologically. So, what can you expect each day as you listen? Our podcast will focus on many of the historical and cultural aspects of the passages we read, as well as placing the events on the timeline of history. Now, don't let that scare you. I know many people aren't fans of history. I promise this will not be a daily lecture filled with dates you will never remember. In fact, we will rarely talk about actual dates. If there is an important one, I will be sure to let you know and explain why it's important. We want this journey to focus on God's sovereignty over all of history. You will hear me say this several times on this journey. Biblical history didn't happen in a vacuum. God ordained all events in history, both biblical and secular, to point to his plan of redemption in Jesus Christ. This is why, at the heart of each day, we will focus on how a passage points to Jesus. We will talk about how followers of Christ can proclaim the truths of Scripture in their own lives and to a watching world. We're also going to have a lot of fun as we talk through hard passages that make us scratch our heads and wonder why they're even in the Bible. And there will be some passages and topics where we will have to be okay with sitting in the unknown and allowing things to remain a mystery on this side of heaven. But we can trust that God is in complete control and that he has given us everything we need for life and godliness. It is going to be such an exciting journey, friends. I want you to know that I'm going to be in the trenches, learning and growing right along with you. And I will go ahead and tell you now, I won't have all the answers. I may even say the name of a person or city differently than you do. The order we chose for the chronological plan may differ from another plan you've done before, and you may get tired of hearing me tell you that genealogies are important. But I want you to know my heart as we begin this year-long journey together. My desire is to make much of Jesus day in and day out. I love the Bible and I love history, and the beauty is they both belong to God. And they both point to our great Creator and his plan of redemption through Jesus. As I've prepared for this journey with you, God has continually brought a passage of scripture up in my planning, praying, and writing. In a way, it has become my theme verse for the year ahead, and I hope it will be for you as well. It comes from Isaiah 46, verses 9 through 10, which read, "Remember what happened long ago, for I am God, and there is no other. I am God, and no one is like me. I declare the end from the beginning, and from long ago what is not yet done, saying, my plan will take place, and I will do all my will." I am so glad that you are here, friend, and I can't wait to see all that God has for us to learn in the year ahead.